no, yeah, no, no, yeah, no, no, yeah.
Hello everyone, this is Trishana Monique, the Curvy Curly Creative. Today we're doing a very basic makeup face, starting with our Bare Minerals Prime Time Foundation Primer. Once that dries, then we're going to go in with the Bare Minerals Original Foundation in Warm Dark. I like to get a nice even layer of this before I do any type of contouring or concealing. I like this because usually I run warm, so I don't prefer liquid foundation. So I go in with the minerals because I just feel like they almost like melt or meld into my skin. Now because my skin, sometimes gets dry between each layer, I love to spritz it with water and do a little dance. It's imperative. Now I'm going in with my Milani Easy Brow pencil in dark brown. So my eyebrows normally grow with slits in them, so I like to take some time and kind of brush them and make sure that you don't see them. I don't want to look like I am back in the 11th grade trying to be the brat. But I'm going to brush everything into place. I like to brush them down first and then brush them up to get that shape. Now normally when I'm filling in, I kind of like to approach this with like an outline type action. I outline it at the bottom, then at the top, and then I fill in from the middle, just to try and keep it from looking like a stencil was used or a magic marker. So I go in with short, light strokes to try and get it, filled in as much as possible, as well as to try and mimic little hairs. So I'm just going to continue to fill in, then I can go ahead and brush with the nice gradient where it fades together. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my LA Girl concealer. This is the one that everybody on YouTube loves. But I like to start by underlining underneath my eyebrows. I find this to be the most important area with kind of making sure that they look crisp. So sometimes I may or may not actually outline the top part, just depending on the look that I'm going for. Now when I do this is exactly why I brush my brows down, so that I can get nice clean lines going around my brows, so that at the end, when I brush them back up, it still looks pristine, but then you still see like the ends of those hairs, giving it more of a natural look. So again, I'm just filling these on in. Now I like to wipe off like the excess concealer that's on the brush and then go in and start blending out. Now of course I'm going to be following this both with my hands as well as my beauty blender sponge. But again, I just like to blend as much as possible with the actual brush. And the warmth from my fingers helps to smooth that out even better. I definitely do this at the front because again, I like that gradient. I like it to fade from that light into the darker. So I go and do that at the end. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill in my T-zone area, the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and then my chin. Now as you see, I have like through hereditary bags that don't go anywhere. So this is the main reason why I use concealer. It's not more so to cover up any dark spots or blemishes, but just try to even that area out. again, misting with my water so that this concealer can, kind of slide and move freely. Now you're going to see me spray water a couple of times, both on this brush, my face, as well as the Beauty Blender. Now I've kind of changed my technique since this, but again, I'll show that in another video. And I'm just blending out. I like to use the brush first because it allows me to have a little bit more control over the areas where I'm actually blending that concealer. I don't want it to be a mess. I'm trying to do everything strategically. If you see, I have those little spots like right under my cheek or jaw to bring that light back from where the actual contour is going to be. I think this video is going to show the flaw in my technique when now I just submerge that whole sponge in water, and it goes much easier versus trying to spritz the sponge and my face. And I'm going in with my hands. Just because, again, that half misted sponge was not moving the concealer how I needed it to. I have since learned that I can just put the whole sponge in water and it works perfect. I was a little late on that train. Bear with me. Okay, now I'm going in with my Ruby Kisses powder to go ahead and set in everywhere where I have put concealer. So we're hitting the chin, those same areas, the forehead. Now again, because I get dry, I don't really do the baking, but when I'm putting this on, I like to make sure that it's being pressed into the concealer to keep anything from kind of moving. So I'll press that in, and then normally I leave it there for a little while and then end up brushing it off. But because I already combat dryness, I don't want this powder soaking up, too much of the moisture. Now I'm going in with that same brush that I put my foundation on with to kind of start blending the concealer, the setting powder, and the foundation together. Now I'm going in with my Ruby Kisses 3D Face Creator. I use this for my contour. I have also since updated to a flat e.l.f. brush for this. But again, I'm going to line down the sides of my nose, underneath. I'm going to bring that on up into that under eyebrow or mid eyelid area. Going down my jawline or cheekbones. Now I more so use this little brush to kind of again have control over where I'm putting my contour. Now I'm going in to blend this out. This is a double-sided Sonia Kashuk brush that I got from Target. I just felt that that smaller end is at an angle, so it kind of helps me to blend out that contour. The other end is a brush blush. I'm blending as much as possible because I hate to kind of see those lines of demarcation. And that's when you know it's makeup. Now this is my bronzing powder. It is a duo by NYC. I'm just using the darker color to then set in the actual contour. And as I'm setting, I try to mix setting and blending at the same time. But as you see, I've hit pan on both of those sides. I have definitely replaced that with something else now. this is the section where I was saying, after kind of doing the contour, I then go back in and just brush off that setting powder that we used over the concealer. I'm going in with my Milani Minerals blush. I try to keep this in the same places or a little bit above where my contouring went. I don't want big red circles in the middle of my face, so I just try to follow that line and build up. Now I'm going to go in with my Ruby Kisses All Over Glow Bronzing Powder. This is like my favorite product because I love sparkle and shine. So I'm going to put this everywhere where light would naturally hit your face. So the middle of your forehead, bridge of nose, my cupid's bow, my chin, and then like right above where I put that blush. So when my face is turning, it's definitely catching all of the light possible. Now, I love this powder because you can use this on your face, but you can also use this on your body. If you have on like a cute off-the-shoulder top, you can get that blingage going everywhere, but there's never enough. But I'm basically done at this point. I'm going to go in and spray this with water yet again with all of these powders. I want to make sure there's enough moisture locking everything in. But this is about it. I like to brush back up my eyebrows so that you can see the ends of those hairs coming over the top, giving it a more natural look. I usually then just, go in, wipe off my beauty mark, but I can follow this up with eyeliner, mascara, any eyeshadow look, any lipstick, but it's a nice face. But thank you so much for watching.
No, 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 no,